Alright, don't mind the mess because it's everywhere. But this is the center section of the rear. Then you have this goes to the drive shaft. And then it has the shaft that goes through to the back where the gears would go, and then come back through to that piece that is then over here and transfers to where the axles run through, and that would be that. So you have your axle, all that stuff, and then here's the one we had cut down because this tube was 2 inches too long, so they had to press it out of the magnesium center and cut it, re-bolt it back in. And then that is the bird cage that the torsion bar sits in for your suspension, and then your hub and all that shit goes here, and this is your brake bracket. And then on the rear of the car, your torsion bars go through here, and then that's the bolt that adjusts the amount of torsion on the bar. Then the shaft comes out here to a torsion rod that comes down to where the bird cage would be sitting right about here, with the rear going through. And then there would be torque arms like this that sit or bolted to that slider, like about like that. That comes back, and then the rear is bolted to this, so that way it can track back and forth like that. And then this is the W-link, well, panhard mount technically now, that would be bolted here to here. And then this piece can raise and lower from this adjuster to change the angle that the rear rolls over, because there's a rod that comes from this to one of the torque arms on this side that it's bolted to, and that adjusts that at pivot angle. So I'll show you the rest of the car. Here's your brake bias adjuster. You can dial it because you have a front master and rear master, and then the lines go, and you can actually shut the front right tire off. And then there's the transmission with reverse, high, low, and then the drive shaft would come back towards the rear. And then you have the firewall, which kind of is not really a whole lot of anything. And then you come down, the motor be bolted in, and that's your radiator tray. And then here's your front radius rods. That these, like adjusting these would change the caster of the front axle. So, and then these are your shock towers. So the shock would bolt here and then down onto this bolt. And then there's your panhard mount, or yeah, that controls how your rear or how your front pivots entering. So you can adjust that bolt up or down, and you can move this up and down. So if you're pushing on entry or whatever, and then adjusting this makes your front either this way or this way. These are our new hubs too, man. They're $500 a piece. They're sweet. All aluminum one piece, besides the rotor. And then we got new calipers too, for all the way around. But then here is where the radius rods for the rear that go back to the bird cage will bolt on this side, and there's ones on that side for the left side. And then here's where your shocks mount that go down to the rear. And then your fuel cell sits back there. And I will show you more videos when we start actually getting things assembled, and a lot of things will make a lot more sense. But yeah, so that's it for now.